Welcome to the Nullarbor, Australia's vast, iconic plain stretching over 1,200 kilometres from South Australia into Western Australia.
Its name comes from the Latin nullus arbor, meaning no trees. And out here, that name makes perfect sense. It's a place of endless skies, ancient landscapes, and a road that feels like it could go on forever.
What lies beneath is just as fascinating. This is the world's largest exposed limestone bed, carved by time and hidden with caves, sinkholes, and stories few ever get to see.
We want to take you on an in-depth journey across this remote stretch, not just ticking off the well-known stops, but showing you the places that often get forgotten. Rugged coastlines, hidden caves, weathered ruins, and a few unexpected surprises along the way.
This is more than a normal road trip. It's an adventure across one of Australia's most extraordinary regions. This is the Nullarbor. As you can tell by the name of this episode, we are heading across the Nullarbor again.
That's right. We've already crossed the Nullarbor 4 times.
Yep.
And this will be our 3rd time going the same way, east to west.
Yeah, and we're both seriously excited to do this. However, each time we've done the Nullarbor previously, we have rushed it a bit and haven't managed to see all of the things there is to do along the way.
That's right. Some of you may think the Nullarbor is a little bit boring, but there's actually quite a bit to see and do. Going across if you're willing to spend the time to do so. Yeah,
and make sure you've got enough water to do so. Speaking of that though, we stayed in a caravan park last night in Sandboarding just because we find it the easiest way to make sure that we're actually stocked up and ready to go. So we've topped up all our food, topped up all our water, topped up the power just because we could. We've had a nice long hot shower because it'll probably be our last one of those for quite a while. We're hoping to do 1 to 2 weeks across the Nullarbor to try and see everything that we can.
Although water will be our limiting factor.
It will be. So we will do it smart. We'll keep an eye on how much water we've got and how much we've used and all that sort of thing. And as we obviously run low, we'll push a little bit further and get towards the other end. Anyways, I'm sure that's probably enough of them staring at our faces because that's not why you're here.
No, definitely not.
So let's get out there and get on with it and show these guys what the Nullarbor is all about.
Let's do it.
The drive from Sandboarding to our first point of interest, Penong, is roughly a 70-kilometre drive along the air highway. Penong is best known for its impressive collection of around 20 or so restored windmills, all which highlight a crucial part of Outback history. One of the stars of the display is Bruce. Bruce is the largest windmill in Australia, standing over 35 feet tall with blades spanning nearly 10 metres. Originally used on a station near Woodner, it was carefully restored and relocated to Penong, where it now takes centre stage. The windmills on display came from all across Australia, each telling its own unique story. Some have been in operation for decades on cattle stations, while others played a key role in providing water to remote outback communities.
After wrapping up our visit at Penong, it was time to hit the road again. In less than 1 kilometre as you leave Penong heading west, you can turn south onto Point Sinclair Road and head towards Lake McDonald. The road is approximately 15 kilometres and is unsealed, so it's a bit of a bumpy ride. Lake McDonald is renowned for its pink hues, a result of high salt concentrations and the presence of algae and bacteria that produce the red pigments. We were eager to witness this natural spectacle, but unfortunately, the lake wasn't as pink as we'd hoped. Not to be discouraged, we continued our journey and stumbled upon another breathtaking spot that made the detour well worth it. Sometimes, the unexpected finds are the most rewarding.
Unfortunately, they have not had the rain out here, so Lake McDonald is not pink. It is pretty much just this bright white colour, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's part and parcel of it. Like, this is our 3rd time seeing it, and the past 2 times, both times it was pink. So we've been pretty lucky, really.
And today, unfortunately, was the perfect drone conditions, and it wasn't windy at all.
Yeah.
So Murphy's Law.
Look, you win some, you lose some.
We're now going on a detour.
Yes.
A Jess detour.
A Jess detour. Now, these always end up very interesting, to say the least. So if you've been following us well, you know that they're interesting. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Where are we going, Jess?
We're going to Point Sinclair. Apparently there's a jetty and that's about all, but a nice beach.
Right.
And maybe we'll have lunch or something.
All right. At the moment, all I know is it's a dirt road heading in, and it should be interesting.
Yeah, you're not. I don't know if you're meant to tow vans or not meant to tow vans, but we've got ours on the back, so we'll see how we go. Yeah,
and we just ran into a couple of people coming back out from there. They weren't towing, they were just in a 200 series Land Cruiser, and they said, oh, you'll get your van in there fine. So we're taking their word for it.
They also said we wouldn't take ours down there.
Yeah, but they've got a 21 foot van, we've got a 17 and 6 foot van, so we'll see what happens. Anyway.
No more procrastinating, let's do it.
Should be interesting either way. It's not anything too bad. There is a nice big drop off on that side, and it is very narrow otherwise.
But other than that,
it's not anything difficult.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The view as you come in around the corner is quite nice too, but you just don't want to go off the edge.
No.
It's about 30-40 metres down over that side.
There's a retaining wall now.
Fair enough. It's still a drop though.
It is a drop to the retaining wall.
Super dusty road in, so hopefully if all goes well the dust reduction system has done its job.
Well, it's on.
Just ignore the fact that we haven't made the bed because we washed all the sheets yesterday and we haven't had a chance to make it, but everything is looking dust free, so
hey,
that's a win. Port LaHunt Jetty, also known as Point Sinclair Jetty, was built in 1911 and was originally used for wheat shipments. Today, it's a popular spot for fishing, swimming, and just taking in the stunning coastal views.
A standout feature here is the shark-netted swimming enclosure, offering a safe place to take a dip in waters known for past shark sightings. The jetty itself stretches about 200 metres over the ocean, making it a great place to cast a line or simply enjoy the fresh sea breeze.
Unfortunately, camping is no longer allowed here, which is a real shame because it would be an incredible place to spend some time. However, just before reaching the jetty, you'll pass Cactus Beach Campground, which is home to one of Australia's most famous surf spots, known for its powerful left and right-hand breaks.
Whether you're here for the waves, the jetty, or just to admire the scenery, this stretch of coastline has plenty to offer.
Unfortunately, the time had come for us to leave Point Sinclair, and after a quick coffee, we hit the road to continue our journey west. It's always a bit tough to leave such a peaceful spot behind, but there's always more to see, and the open road ahead was calling us. We've decided to make some plans, which we never ever do. We've decided to pull into a place called Fowlers Bay, which is only about 150 k's out of Ceduna. We've been here a few times before and absolutely had a ball down here. It's just this really quiet, small little town. And every time we go there, Jess has managed to land a few squid off the jetty. So we're thinking pull in there for a couple of days and hopefully get some nice seafood on the table.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hopefully the wind holds up. It's getting a bit windy at the moment. Although we're in the afternoon now, so we're expecting it.
Yeah, it's
hopefully
3:30 at the moment. More often than not, when you're out here doing Nullarbor and stuff, it gets to the arbour and gets blowy. So we normally only drive for half a day anyway.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see how we go though. Hopefully the wind does hold off and we can get out on the jetty and get some squid. But we'll show you around Fowlers Bay when we get down there. It's only 20k detour off of the air highway, so it's not far off at all. But looking forward to it. Arriving in Fowlers Bay, our first stop was the Fowlers Bay Caravan Park. Interestingly, the Caravan Park's kiosk also serves as the only shop in town offering hot and cold food, basic groceries, and even some fishing tackle.
After setting up our van, we headed out for a walk down the main street, soaking in the tranquil atmosphere of this off-grid community. The town operates entirely on solar power and a generator backup, and relies on local water sources, embodying sustainable living. Our walk took us to the Esplanade, where we were greeted by the expansive coastline. The highlight was the 340-metre long jetty that we would soon be hoping to catch some squid from.
As the day wound down, we returned to our van for the night, but before settling in, we launched the drone to try and capture the sunset. From the air, we could see the massive sand dunes that are slowly encroaching upon the town, a phenomenon that's been happening for over a century.
Despite efforts by residents to stabilise the dunes by planting native vegetation, the sand continues its advance.
If the dunes keep moving this way, there's a real possibility that Fowlers Bay may not exist in the future.
It's a sobering thought, especially considering how much history and natural beauty this place holds. For now though, it remains a peaceful coastal retreat, and we're lucky to experience it while we can.
Good morning.
Morning!
A little bit breezy at the moment, so I don't know how this audio is going to turn out, but it is an absolute cracker of a morning. We were supposed to be up at 6 o'clock and it's now like 7:30, but you know, we slept through the alarm.
We woke up to the alarm, turned it off and went back to sleep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad we got up now.
Yeah. No, so we're going to go out for a fish now and try and catch some squid. But even if we don't, it's worth it because this sunrise is pretty special. So
It's epic.
all right, none of the gear's set up or anything, so I'm going to run out into the jetty now, get all that organised and chuck a line in and see what we can do.
Let's do it. How are we going?
It's not been a very productive morning so far.
No.
And by not very productive, I mean not at all.
I mean, look, let's face it, we opened up the fishing stuff and we're like, oh, we've got not many swivels.
And a grand total of 3 squid jags.
One of which has been ripped open by the guts.
Yeah. So I need to do a bit of a restock on fishing gear, but hey, I'm still having fun.
We're still out here.
Well, we didn't catch any of the action on camera.
Oh, no, we didn't.
But you did.
I did catch one.
You did manage to land one. Well done.
Thank you.
Showing me up on the fishing again.
Well, he come out of nowhere. I didn't actually know he was on, and then all of a sudden I couldn't see my jag and all I saw was squid. So
Well done. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's get some more.
Let's do it. It's one big fish.
Big cephalopod.
Cephalopod.
Nice big cuttlefish, but
He's old.
I don't have, I've only got him by one tentacle, and I've only got very, very light gear here, so I'm not going to be able to lift him up on the jetty.
And you're going to have to go around
I'm going to have to try and get down that ladder down there and try and beach him. Let's see how this goes. All right, this could end well. Or very not well. Oh no!
Oh no!
No! No! Put it back in.
Okay.
Ah.
All right, well, I better go back to my squid.
Oh, you're kidding me. That's why I didn't want to try and lift it.
Yep. Well, oh well. Bugger. Next time.
I need a coffee. I don't know what I need.
Well, I better go back to my squid because
Yeah.
Shame. That was like 5 minutes worth of work.
Yeah.
So next time.
Yep.
That was an old cuttlefish that had not been caught for a long time.
It was dinner.
Yeah, for 3 days. Bagger. Have we officially given up fishing for today?
For now.
For now?
For now, yeah.
What's it? 10, just after, or 10:30 now. And I think we're done.
Yeah, it's not been a successful day. You got one.
Yep.
I successfully lost a cuttlefish.
He was
But,
big though. That was a big cuttlefish.
Yeah, I'm still salty about it.
So you should be.
Right, time to pack it up, make a move, and go and do something else that should be a bit of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see if we do it.
Yeah, see what happens. Don't know.
Otherwise we'll chill out and do not much. Until the next fishing adventure.
Yeah, we'll probably go back out again tonight.
Yeah.
Going on dusk and try and get some more squid.
Yeah.
Try and actually land some squid.
You'll get there.
Oh, is that right? Right, so we've gone for a quick little drive out into Fowlers Conservation Park, I think it's called.
Yes, it
so
is.
basically just sand dunes on sand dunes on sand dunes and sand dunes. It's awesome up here. But we've also managed to grab a sandboard as well.
Yeah, so you can hire them from the Caravan Park reception or the kiosk cafe for $10 for, I don't know, what is it?
$10 an hour.
An hour, is it?
And it should be interesting because neither of us have ever gone sand duning, sand duning boarding. We've never done this before, so this is going to be awesome fun. Well, it's safe to say that we gave sandboarding a red hot go, and at first it was less smooth sailing and more human seaweed, you know, rolling uncontrollably and becoming one with the sand. After enough trial and a lot of error, we actually started to get the hang of it.
I did it!
Unfortunately, it was just in time for us to head back to camp and spend the rest of the night trying to get sand out of the places that sand should never be. Good morning.
Morning.
Cracker of a start to the day again. Absolutely beautiful sunrise. Jess managed to outfish me again.
As per usual.
Yes. No, absolutely great morning. Now, we are going to head off into the sand dunes today.
That we are.
So we're going to try and get out to a place called Point Fowler. So obviously, Fowlers Bay. We're going to head out to Point Fowler, which means going back out into the sand dunes again, which I'm actually really, really looking forward to. So it's really soft sand, full driving, all that sort of gear. So it's going to be absolutely awesome fun. Jess will probably hate it because she doesn't enjoy the full driving part of it, but that's okay.
Yes, but that's right.
Yeah.
It's all part of the adventure.
It is. Now, I say head back out there, but that's because we did go out there yesterday and go sandboarding, which for me was a bit of a failure, but again, Jess did incredible.
Well, kind of.
You managed to get down to the bottom.
Yeah, true. I mean, I've got a few bruises to show for it, but that's okay.
We both had a couple of good stacks, which was fun. But otherwise, we're going to head out that way out there, straight out into the dunes, have some fun. To get into the Fowlers Bay sand dunes, you head west out of town, down First Street, and follow the track just past the Caravan Park. Once you're in, there are no signs, no clear paths, just a few tyre tracks that seem to go in every direction. It honestly feels like a giant, sandy, choose-your-own adventure, and we're all for it. After driving through those dunes for a little bit, we've popped out onto, what's it called?
Scots Beach.
Scots Beach. So Scots Beach, Scots Bay type area. Absolutely phenomenal through here. Beach is absolutely beautiful. Seen a couple of schools of fish in the water already, which is cool.
So there is a campground actually, Scots Beach Campground, which is further around.
Yep.
And you can actually access that by a 2-wheel drive. It's
Yeah.
just a gravel road to get to the campground.
Yep.
You'd only need a 4-wheel drive to drive along the beach.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, now that we're down here, we didn't bring any fishing rods, so we're not going to try and get any of those fish because I didn't think to pack them. So I think we're just going to chill out for a little bit, go for a walk, have a look around, might stick a feet in the water for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then head off again out to Point Fowler. We'll see what this one's all about.
We kind of got lost on the way through. We followed someone else and all they're doing is coming here to fish.
Yep.
So we were meant to we cut across the dune. We're meant to go straight along the dune.
Yeah,
but you know.
It's a welcome detour because this beach is unreal and we would have missed it otherwise.
After a short drive along the beach and a quick dip of the toes, we quickly realised the water was way too cold for a swim. So we jumped back in the car, cruised a little further along the sand, and got back on track toward our original destination.
Before we left town, we made sure to drop our tyre pressures to around 20 psi to make the drive smoother, avoid getting bogged in the soft sand, and not get any punctures on any sharp rocks. The track is about 15 kilometres from Fowlers Bay to Fowlers Point, depending on how many offshoots you do, which track you take, conditions, and how often you stop. Overall, it should take you roughly 45 minutes to an hour. Continuing along the track towards Fowlers Point, the terrain was a bit of a mixed bag. There was sand, shifting to compacted limestone in some areas, and a few rocky outcrops scattered along the way. Every couple of 100 metres, it kept on changing, which made you keep your eyes on the track. But just before we reached Fowlers Point, we came across an unexpected stop that we really didn't know was out here, but we're very happy that we found. Not far off the end of getting out to Point Fowler, you come up to this spot where they say that there's a colony of sea lions. So you just park the car up the top there with the information sign and whatnot, have a read of that, head down this little track, and then just back behind me down there is a beach, and it is absolutely chockers full of sea lions.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah. So no drones or anything like that, so we ain't going to do any of that. We're just going to see if we can get some shots of these guys, but it's a really cool little spot.
It is. It's really pretty too.
It is, and we've lucked out for the weather.
Oh, we sure have.
It's a beautiful day. At first, the sea lions were quite happy lounging around, soaking up the sun on the beach and keeping their distance. But it wasn't long before their curiosity kicked in. Slowly, they started swimming closer, and before we knew it, they were right up close to us, checking us out just as much as we were keeping an eye on them. Honestly, we weren't sure who was more curious, us or them.
Hello. Oh, there was one underneath. Hello. Oh, there was one underneath.
They really are beautiful creatures, so graceful in the water, but with such a playful, puppy-like energy. With their inquisitive nature and playful movements, they've definitely earned their title as the puppies of the sea.
That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. They're just so cute, inquisitive, and playful, and they're little ocean puppies, sea puppies.
Quite literally.
So that's that done, and we're realistically not very far away from the end here of Point Fowler, so we're just going to keep heading out that way and see how much longer it takes us to get there. It's been a couple of hours on the road so far, but worth it. Really pretty scenery and stuff like that to see is quite special.
It is. It's really quite cool.
Yeah.
Especially being like the only ones out here. Or what we think.
Oh, we haven't seen anybody else, so yeah, just got to find our way out of here and get to the point now.
We'll see if we get there, because we're going the wrong way at
We
the
are,
moment.
but there's no other track, so see what happens.
We'll see.
another 15 minutes or so and we've made it out to Point Fowler. So this is it here.
There's a rock can,
Yep.
well, rock monument
Yep.
can thing out here. It looks pretty impressive, really.
Just something that people have gathered a heap of rocks together and put up. It looks like a little house almost.
We don't know anything about it.
No.
We thought it was a sign with like rocks around it, but yeah, there's no
just
sign.
a pile of rocks. But no, really, really cool. We just wanted to come out here, but there's nothing too exceptional, but we get to tick it off the list as saying that we've been out to Point Fowler now. So really happy about that, but we're just going to take a little bit of time, have a look around here, see if there is anything to see. If not, we'll get back in the car and head back out to camp.
Yeah.
What does it take, over two and a bit hours in the end?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours to get out of here. So, but that's taking it pretty slow.
Very slow.
Anyway.
And getting lost multiple times. A few detours here and there.
After soaking in the views at Fowlers Point and a few more off-track detours, we eventually found our way back to camp. And to be honest, that was it for us. No fishing, no adventuring, just dinner, a hot shower and an early night. We were totally spent. The next morning, we packed up and hit the road, and we reluctantly said goodbye to Fowlers Bay and continued our journey west.
We've left Fowlers reluctantly. If we'd have stayed another night, we would have stayed for longer. So we've finally moved on. However, it is not the most ideal drive day. It's 40k an hour winds and we're pretty much pumping into a headwind the whole way. So going east to west along the Nullarbor, we're cranking that good old headwind already. But we've just stopped off at Nundra Roadhouse to get some fuel and just to have a reprieve and pull over. But yeah, what do you want to say, Alan?
You pretty well hit the nail on the head. It's not an ideal drive day today, so we're just going to go for a little bit further out to Head of Bite Free Camp, which is 130 k's from here. We didn't really need to top up on diesel here. It was just a case of it was cheaper here compared to going further. Jess has an app on her phone which actually checks all the fuel prices in advance and stuff like that. She'll tell you in a second more about that. But yeah, no, so we're only going to go 130 odd k's today to Head of Bite Free Camp and just pull up there for the day because it's just not worth trying to push into this wind and make the car work harder. Plus it's 40 degrees outside as well, so everything's having to work hard and I don't see the point in pushing all the gear that hard, and we might as well just pull up for the day. So I'm just checking wiki camps for latest reviews and stuff like that, but everything's looking alright to head out to Head of Bite. So
See if we push that far.
yeah, well, it's only 130 k's, but yeah, we'll see how we go. We might pull up sooner, who knows. Jess, what's the fuel app that you use?
So we use, what did I say? Fuel app. I'm pretty sure it's just called Fuel app. And that helps us keep tabs on how much we've spent, how far we go, our litres per 100, etc. As well as it gives us the cheaper fuel stops. I know a lot of people use Petrol Spy. I tried it and honestly, it's not much different to Fuel app. So we just use that one instead. So it's just what we've used and what we know. Yeah.
Yep. No, well, I'm going to finish my coffee. It's an iced coffee, not hot coffee, because it's way too hot for that. Finish this up and, yeah, just get on the road and see where we pull up for the day. There's a couple of things I'd still want to have a look at on the way out to wherever we do end up, but we'll show you that when we get there.
If it's not too windy. So got back in the car, just checked my phone and realised that the fuel app we actually used is called Fuel Map Australia. It is a free app and we've been using it for forever and it still does all the same features. It's just easy for us to keep tabs on how many litres we use per kilometre. And it's got it from, like, as soon as we put in a log, we've got all of our log details. So yeah, it's a pretty cool app.
The first fuel stop along the Nullarbor heading west is Nundra Roadhouse. It's only 150 kilometres from Ceduna, but we decided to top up as it was one of the cheapest options at $1.83.9. From there, we continued along the Nullarbor and made our way toward the Head of Bite Free Camp. But when we arrived, something was going on that wasn't quite what we expected, and it might just change our plans. Well, we just rocked up, and definitely not what we were expecting to see.
No, we were not expecting Head of Bite to be closed.
Want to know why the Head of Bite was closed? Well, you're going to have to tune in next episode to find out. We'll also continue our adventure along the Nullarbor and explore the mysterious Murruwidgee Caves, get our first glimpse at the famous Bunda Cliffs, and step back in time at the historic Canalda Homestead. Make sure to subscribe though, you don't want to miss out on any of our adventures.